queer big sister that I never got.
Let's think about what I want.
No, I don't. Oh, I don't know. Advice on sleeping with a girl for the first time. I don't accept that.
Oh, I love talking to myself.
Ew, I feel like I'm saying everything wrong.
Spoiler alert, you're actually the only one who can fix things for yourself.
I could end up anywhere.
Am I giving sex advice right now? I'm so confused.
I am squeezing the absolute death out of this lip balm to get every drop that I can. I put on some BB cream this morning and I think I just put on a smidge too much, and now it just looks like I have a full face of makeup on ready for Pilates. So I hate that. But good morning, welcome back to another vlog. I decided to do a daily vlog today. A while ago, my friend Ella, Smiley Citrus, better known as, did a vlog style where she answered Q&A questions throughout the vlog, and I loved it. And I've watched a few of my friends do a similar video style since then, and I love it. I love a chatty daily vlog. And I never do daily vlogs, and they're always just like a bit of fun, a little bit different, never been done or seen before. So I've also just posted a vlog of her doing a bunch of her favorite things throughout the day. So I feel like that's a little bit of today as well. I'm just taking inspiration from all of my friends and putting it into my own video. So that's what we're getting up to today. It's currently 10 to 9 a.m. and I'm going to Pilates. I went to the 9:15 class for the first time last week and I low-key loved it. A, you get to sleep in, but B, you're still starting your day with movement. Like I just knew I wasn't getting up for the 7:30 class this morning. And if you really think about it, the 7:30 class is not even that early, but I've been getting to bed so late recently and I'm so frustrated with myself. But I get into bed and then I journal and then I go down this big deep self-realization hole and I'm just journaling for hours, and then I'm crying, and then I'm journaling again, and then I'm doing my tapping, and then my like, oh, I forget what it's called, the movements to help with my nervous system so that I can actually fall asleep. And then by the time I'm getting to sleep, it's like 11. That's been my routine recently. I need to get into bed at like 7 so I can do everything I just said and still fall asleep at like 9. But I find it so hard to get off my phone at the end of the day. I'm pretty okay if I like set my mind to it to not go on my phone first thing, but going on my phone close to bed at nighttime is so hard for me. So hard for me. My life is so hard. Whoa. But I thought we could answer one question before I go into Pilates. Have I found the question I'm going to answer yet? No. I asked for questions on my Instagram and for some reason I was feeling brave and I asked for them to be juicy. Do I regret that? Maybe. I'm scared. Do I feel like being really vulnerable? Time will tell. Someone asked, do you plan to stay on the Gold Coast forever? I mean, I can't speak for forever. Who knows? I feel like I change my mind all the time. But for right now, or at least the next like 5 years, I love the Gold Coast so much that I don't see myself anywhere else. Long term, I could end up anywhere, low key. My job is obviously super flexible, so I could literally just pack up and move to the other side of the country now if I wanted. I do have Winston, so I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I moved somewhere else, but at least for the next 5 years I want to be on the Gold Coast. Honestly, I just want to be wherever my friends are. I could also just meet a partner and move somewhere with them and that wouldn't be that crazy to me. It wouldn't be that like shocking. I don't feel like I have a pull to anywhere, but I'm happy where I am right now. Someone asked, are you planning any new tattoos? I am. I really am. I have so many screenshots in my camera roll currently. I'm just kind of saving them up. I don't want to go and get like 1 or 2 little fine line tattoos. I feel like if I'm gonna get some, I want to get multiple at once. Maybe not the mindset I should have, but I have it anyway. Only because I know that I'm eventually gonna find more ideas that I love, you know? Like I'm not forcing myself to get more, but that I don't want to. Anyway, I have a few. I want to get a locket. I've seen so many people get little lockets and I think they're so adorable. I don't know what I want to put in the locket. So if anyone has any ideas, please let me know. I've seen a lot of people put their dogs in the locket, which is really cute, but I don't feel drawn to that. I could just put little flowers in it. Like I have little flowers in my stamp tattoo, which I think is really cute. I want to get a fruit of some sort. I'm not sure what fruit yet. And in my last vlog when I was scrapbooking, I showed a little drawing that I found on TikTok, I think, and I drew it in my scrapbook, and it's 2 people lying down looking at the stars. And I mentioned, I was like, oh, I think this would be such a cute tattoo, but is it weird if I get 2 people tattooed on my body? And there were so many comments saying that the 2 people, one could be me and the other one could be my inner child. Literally blowing my eyes out. That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard and I'm obsessed. I feel like especially with all the work I'm doing at the moment, my inner child is coming up so much, and I honestly thought everyone was being so woo-woo. I was a woo-woo hater, I won't lie, and I still struggle. Like my first reaction when I hit anything a bit woo-woo, I'm like, well, nah. Why am I like that? It's so judgmental and so rude. I don't like it. And I thought that the inner child work was just so like woo-woo and like I didn't need to do that. Turns out that I do. And honestly, like, me being so resistant to it should have been a sign. It's like when people are super homophobic and you're like, oh, the coal's coming from inside the house. Like, the woo-woo people were just putting up a little mirror to me and I was like, no thank you. Yeah, so inner child work, a lot of what I'm working to in therapy at the moment, my little Georgia comes up all the time. So I think that tattoo would be really fun. And I also have seen a few little, in my last vlog actually, I painted them on a pottery cup. I obviously painted them really badly, but like the stars that are, maybe I'll just insert a photo because I am hopeless at explaining things. Stars that are not symmetrical and perfect. I love star tattoos, so I think I want to get some sort of star tattoo or sun. So we'll see. My tattoo artist will be hearing from me. I have an international trip in June, the start of June. So I think in May, I would love to get them so that they're like kind of healed by the time I go away. I don't know why, but I would just love to be traveling in the summertime with like fresh tattoos. Like, what amount of tattoos do I need to be considered to have sticker sleeves? To be fair, I don't get them on my forearms because I'm getting laser on my forearms, but does that still mean that I have a sleeve if it's just on my upper arm? Not sure. Anyway, not important. I'm gonna go into Pilates and stop rambling. I have a feeling this session is gonna absolutely kick my ass because I'm going in extremely sore. Send me love and well wishes, please.
I wish I could lie to you and say that I am having a really nice, relaxing time at the beach right now. I am so overstimulated. I think I'm just gonna go home really soon, honestly. Firstly, the weather has taken a turn for the worst, and we all know how I feel about the weather at this point. This is also something I have no right to complain about. Oh my god. Huge crab behind the camera. I'm scared. I'm just gonna pretend like it's not there. I am just in a complaining mood right now, so that's what you're gonna have to deal with. So sorry, but also not really at all. This next thing I'm going to complain about, I have no valid reason to complain about it. I am in a public space. There are just so many little boys playing in the sand not far from me and just screaming all the time, which again, I'm so glad that you're having fun, honestly. It's just adding to my overstimulation. That's that on that. I did have my Pilates class. It was, honestly, it felt like the longest class I've ever done in my whole life. It went forever. When I say forever, I do mean 45 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours. Anyway, I went and got a matcha and all the ice is melted so far. It is delicious though. I can tell that the sun is trying to come back out. I don't know if I can stick it out though. I don't know if I can wait for it. It's so windy. I'm being so dramatic. And I know. Let's find an answer to question. An answer to question. Perfect. Question to answer while we're here before I go for my dip and give up and go home. It's so cloudy. I don't even know if my umbrella is putting me in the shade. I put sunscreen on, but I'm still scared. The sun? Terrifying. I feel like it was to be expected, but there are so many dating questions, which is fine. I love talking about dating and being gay and sex and relationships and everything. I just feel like I sound like a broken record and it probably is so annoying if you don't care. But I feel like because this is a Q&A and people asked, that gives me free reign to yap about it as much as I like. But someone asked when I'm gonna start dating again or if I'm dating again. I'm absolutely not dating right now. I'm not intentionally going out of my way to meet anyone. And I also don't know when I'm going to feel ready to start dating again. I'm just going to assume that I'm going to know. I feel like maybe I'll just wake up one day and be like, yeah, I feel ready actually. I feel like right now is the first time in like 6 years that I've been an adult, single, and getting into a relationship is not my sole purpose or the thing that takes up most space in my brain. And I think there's a few reasons why I'm in that space right now, but I can't get into it too much yet because I need to process it more on my own. But I'm working through so much stuff in therapy just about myself. It's almost like I know I should not be in a relationship right now. Even if I felt ready to start dating again, I have no energy to try and open that can of worms again. I have so much shit to work on myself. I know that I don't have the mental capacity or energy to give to A, dating, or B, someone else. You're kind of the only one who's going to know when you're ready, and people's time frames are going to be very different in all of that. But I love me being my sole focus right now, and it has to be like that because I have so much shit to work through. It feels like my world has shifted, not having a relationship being at the forefront of my mind, like wanting a relationship, like being single, and my sole purpose in life not being finding a partner. I think I wasted so many of my single years just sitting around waiting for like someone to come along and fix everything when like, hey, spoiler alert, you're actually the only one who can fix things for yourself. That's crazy. And I do think I wouldn't have learnt that lesson if I didn't have the relationship that I did have in the last 6 months. I don't know if I articulated my thoughts well at all, and I could talk about this topic for so much longer. Maybe Soph and I will touch on it in a matcha therapy episode sometime soon. But also, speaking of dating, someone asked me about the 39-year-old I mentioned in my dating Wrapped. Do I delete my dating Wrapped now? Who knows? Why I went on a date with someone who's significantly older than the rest of the women I went on dates with. Just quickly and briefly, she was the one person I met last year in the wild, approached me, asked me out. We knew each other through this commitment, and I said yes to a date. Knew she was older than me, I just didn't know by how much. First date was kind of good, so went on the second date, then learnt how old she was, and that's the end of that. I also just think it's one of those things, that's why dating is so fun, because you just don't know what you do and don't like until you're in the situation. Like, hey, I don't know if I want to date someone who's 13 years older than me until I'm there across the dinner table from them, you know? I don't want to make any preconceived judgments. And hey, you just keep learning and learning, and now I know that I probably wouldn't date someone with that big of an age gap. I don't know how old or young I would date. It honestly just depends on the person. You meet some people who are much older than you and are so emotionally immature, but then you meet some people who are younger, who have been in therapy for long enough and are more emotionally mature than you are. You just don't know. You can't judge a book by the cover, as they say. I'm talking absolute. The sun has kind of come out, so I think now it's time for my swim. I might swim, read for a bit, see how much longer I can put up with this wind for, and then we might head home. When I say we, I mean you and me.
Purely just to make myself feel good. Like, I have no real reason to be putting it on other than I want to. And this morning I've been in the process of starting a more fun, upbeat playlist. I have a few playlists like from ages ago that have fun songs on them, but I wanted a new refreshed one because I've been listening to so much sad music recently and I can't keep doing it to myself. I can't continue down this rabbit hole. So I've started a playlist. It's called Boogie. I hate that. I need to think of something better. If you have like the songs that just make you want to move your body. Like, you know, when you're in the car and you're just like, oh, like my shoulder's bopping and I don't even have any control over it. You just want to have a fun little time while listening to them. My Spotify is always linked down below. I love making playlists so much. This one is very much a work in progress, so like don't judge it because it's not done. The name needs work, the cover photo needs work, and the actual playlist itself needs some work, but I've started it, so we're gonna shuffle that while I get ready and try and bring up the mood. I feel like I went for my ocean swim and then it's continued being so cloudy and I'm running out of energy. For some reason, my energy is just going downhill really quickly and I'm mad about it. I don't want it. I don't accept that for today. So.
You know what? It's not my fault you're like in love with me or something. It's not my fault. Hey, I'm back, bitch. Are you done? Can I get girls in a night? She might be with me. You know what they say. Never waste a Friday night on a first date. It's fuck me, cheese. I know what I want.
I want peace. Head out the window, dad's on the phone and he's lecturing me. Son of a gun, but I know that he's right. Pretend I can't read. So good goes to bad things too. I want this, yeah, you're perverted. You get me guilty. I want this like a spice chapel. Touch me, baby, put your lips on mine. Could go to hell, but we'll probably be fine.
I'm trying to figure out what to wear and I'm annoyed because everything I want to wear is warm and it's too hot outside, but I need to put you onto these jeans. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. A couple of vlogs ago I showed a big Cotton On haul that I did online and I got this pair of jeans, yeah, in a size up, and I was unsure whether to try and size down. I went in store yesterday, tried these on, and they fit like a glove, so I exchanged them and I'm so happy and excited about it. I've wanted a pair of jeans like this for so long. When I say a pair of jeans like this, it's nothing crazy, but I feel like as a bigger woman it is so incredibly hard to find good jeans that fit me the way I want them to. The tag on the bum says super baggy, relaxed, mid-rise, baggy fit, loose, baggy leg, rigid. But like this label just says super baggy, so I don't know if that's what the name of them is. I normally am a size 18 in jeans, but I got these in a 16, so maybe they run small equally. It feels risky to say that because jean sizing is always so hit and miss and different for every single person. I feel like mid-rise is low-key
high rise on me because my torso is so short, but you kind of get the idea. This is also a shirt I got from Cotton On actually. I am obsessed with these. I have one from Bikini Boutique, and every time I see a new different color combo, I fight the urge to get it every single time. And this one got the better of me. I love her. But these are how the jeans look. So they're quite high-waisted on me. I just feel like the fit of the leg is perfect. They're so baggy. I love them. I unfortunately think it's too hot to wear a long sleeve and jeans. Do I just do a white tee? Oh, what I do every time. I got these white tees hemmed by my gorgeous alterations grandma, and I got them a little bit too short. My bad, not hers. I wish they were just like here, like the perfect boxy fit, but I will wear them to death before I get new ones. I think this will do. Also, I got this cardigan in yellow. I think I showed it in the haul. Like I returned things, so I had store credit, and I decided to get the cardigan in black as well. Oh yeah, here it is. She's so cute. I can't wait to wear her. The girls and I have our annual Easter brunch on Sunday. I'm so excited, and I feel like the color code is, I don't think we ever planned it. Maybe we did, I don't know. But you wear like Easter colors, like pastels. So I feel like I might wear my yellow cardigan. I think that'd be so cute. But I've been seeing heaps of people wear normal tees underneath a cardigan, like not tight tees, and I want to know if I can pull it off. I don't know if it's really gonna overstimulate me. I'm not wearing this today because it's far too hot, but that's fun, right? That's cute, right? You just have to get the tee in the perfect spot under it, or being crazy and doing the first button up. Is it cute or like not at all? You can see. Is this cute, or have I like completely missed the mark? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm kind of into it. Worst comes to worst, open I think looks really cute. I think that's quite cute. I'm so excited for cooler weather. I can't explain to you how sick I am of wearing shorts. I just want to cozy up. But like give me 2 weeks of winter and then I'll regret saying that at all. Also, Lang and I spent probably far longer than it should have taken us yesterday building my outdoor furniture, and I just have to show you and rave about it because I'm so obsessed. This is the last thing for my apartment. Like I think my apartment is done. The spare room, we don't talk about it. We won't be looking in there. That's storage for now. I'm just waiting for a time where I feel inspired and motivated and like ready to tackle that. That is not going to be anytime soon. But this is like the last piece of furniture I needed. Now that my dining table arrived, like I have everything. But I love it out here so much. We have Winston's toilet here. We're ignoring that in the corner. How perfect. I can't rave about it enough. I've decided I'm scrapbooking tonight. I think I got up to our Hamilton Island trip in my scrapbook, and I love scrapbooking trips. They are so fun. I feel like you're so far away. I feel distant. Let's find a question to answer while I get my scrapbooking organized. Someone asked if I have a type, and I was actually talking to one of my friends about this last night because I feel like I am staring at my phone because I'm finding my scrapbook photos. I'm not purposely ignoring you. When I realized that I liked women, my only type was masculine presenting women. But for the longest time, I couldn't decipher the difference between wanting to look like them or wanting to be with them. And honestly, I still struggle with this very often. This is Winston right now, if you're curious. I still to this day sometimes struggle with not knowing if I want to be with them or be them, but half the time it's kind of both. Like maybe I want to look like you, maybe I also want to be with you. Two things can exist at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Why does it feel so rude to say that like, I'm not attracted to certain types of women? Like women are beautiful, but sexually ew, I feel like I'm saying everything wrong. I feel like I'm not getting my answer across. I love a like switch. A girl who can do both. Like if you can pull off a suit and pull off a dress, I'm obsessed. Give it to me right now. But I would say I lean towards a more masculine woman, or like a tomboy femme. I feel like there are so many names and labels for things, but I also just like, I look at a woman and I just like know if it's a yes or a no, just purely based on appearance. But I will say your actions and low-key sometimes opinions can make you either way more attractive or really, really ugly. Like if you don't respect my boundaries, you are now ugly. Sorry, that's just how my brain labels it. I was once attracted to you, you've crossed my boundary, that behavior is ugly. In the same way, if you're sweet, loving, kind, considerate, that makes you more beautiful. That makes you more attractive. So like I do have a type, but it's very fluent, it's very interchangeable, it's not consistent at all. And that honestly just keeps it kind of fun. Me with my ice cream, peak happiness actually. Hamilton Island, I just truly believe is one of like the happiest places ever. Ooh, I don't know what my answer is. Someone asked, in a romantic relationship, do you feel like it brings out your feminine or masculine energy? That is a good thing to ponder, isn't it? I do feel like this partly depends on me, but it also partly depends on the person that I'm with. I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know my fruits. I feel like I need to look into masculine and feminine energy a little bit more to form my answer, but I feel like I think I fall into a masculine energy more often, but I actually don't. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I don't know. I think that if there is a masculine energy around me, I'm more than happy to take the back seat and just sit back and not lean into mine. But if there is no other masculine energy around, then I'm ready and can lean into that. I don't know if I've explained that well at all, but I'm still thinking I'm probably going to be journaling about. That's a good question, and I'm annoyed that I don't have a good answer for it. Okay. All my scrapbook photos are done. Now, have I bought a printer yet? No. So I am going to Officeworks. Will I ever buy a printer? Probably not.
What one song do I listen to on my drive?
Well, hey there, lover, I heard you're sober now. Nothing lasts always forever, and now for you.
I've just clocked that it's 5 p.m. and I'm hungry. Like I was like, whoa, I'm hungry. And then I was like, wait, what's the time? And I was like, oh, it's dinner time. That was my thought process that you didn't ask for. I'm kind of thinking, hear me out, I go on a solo dinner date to like grilled or schnitz, like nothing crazy, but going and sitting there alone does intimidate me. I won't lie. But I brought my Kindle with me, and maybe I just go and sit and eat and read and just crazy, but enjoy my own company. Everything in me just wants to like get takeaway and sit in my car and eat it. But I think this would be good exposure therapy. Do I want grilled or schnitz? Schnitz is like in a food court, so like I feel like that's ruining a little bit of the vibes, but I think I want it more than grilled. Oh, but grilled sweet potato chips.
I don't know what just happened, but I think the social anxiety needs to be scared of me, actually. One moment.
I did decide to end my dinner date with Yochi, obviously. If you're wondering, which I know you are. Oh, I love talking to myself. I got cookies and cream, classic vanilla, mini M&Ms, and the mochi balls, like these little mochi balls. Obsessed. And I'm really stoked with my decision. Something came over me while I was eating dinner because I was getting a little bit scared, a little bit self-conscious with people just like watching me. I don't know if they were watching me because I had a camera there, which is fair enough, or if they were watching me because I was alone, but I would make eye contact with people and then I would really shyly quickly look away. And then I realized, why am I getting scared that we made eye contact? You should be scared that we made eye contact. So then I just started, I don't know what came over me. This is not my usual behavior. If anything, it's the complete opposite. So I just stared back at them until they would drop the eye contact. I don't know what happened to me, but it worked well. Like they stopped looking after that. So I did have to put my earphones in towards the end just because I was getting a little bit uncomfortable. Especially like eating my burger, I had to use 2 hands. So I couldn't read. So I did put my earphones in to just like get by. But I'm proud of myself. That was more challenging than like it probably should have been. But regardless, I did it. Are we sick of me answering questions yet? Yes or no? Because I'm about to continue. What other questions do we have in here? I'm kind of shocked at how many questions I got regarding faith and religion and my deconstructing journey, if you will. I feel like that's another one of those topics that I feel like I have talked about. I'm so sorry, can everyone please be quiet? As I was saying, I feel like I sound like a broken record because I have harped on and on and on about it, and if you don't care or relate, it might just be really annoying to listen to. But someone asked, when/how did you realize you no longer had faith? From a church girly to not going at all, how are you going? Just like a lot of faith-based questions. Oh my god, please hold. Holy, I'm finding it so hard to not be a man hater tonight. There are so many scary men out. Anyway, I feel like when I'm talking about my religious upbringing and stepping away from the faith a few years ago, I almost don't want to use the word deconstructing because I never fully agreed with it or understood it or related to it or followed it low-key. But I grew up in a really religious Christian household, and I also went to a Christian school from preschool to grade 12. So I've always been around an extreme amount of Christianity, and my parents kind of went to an old-fashioned church. And so growing up, when I wasn't feeling connected to it or found myself just like feeling really distant from it, I was like, oh, I think it's maybe the church I'm going to. Maybe when I get a bit older, I can go to a different church and maybe it'll like all click then. And then sure enough, I moved out, went to a different church for quite a few years, and it still just like never clicked. And it doesn't sound hectic, and I feel like it might be one of those things you only know how it feels like if you've really been in it. But you kind of get to the point where you're like, something has to be wrong with me for this to not be connecting, which is honestly just kind of sad because that's an awful way to think about yourself. And I feel like because it took me, well, I was gonna say so long, and I never even got to the end point, but because I could never get myself to connect with it, it kind of forced me to sit back and be like, wait, I've been trying to connect to this idea just because most people in my life are connected to it. And so then I had to take a back seat and just be like, whoa, let's think. let's think about what I want and what I actually think of these values and of this big, huge religion. And I feel like I've talked about leaving religion and coming out kind of as if they were happening at the same time, but they weren't really at all. I think subconsciously it probably played a small role, but mostly I just didn't connect with it and I just didn't feel like it was true for me. And it was kind of just as simple as that. And honestly, leaving the church like felt really right. Like I could just like feel it in my body. And I feel like that was one of the first times I made a decision like purely for myself that felt really hard to do, and it just felt right. I don't really know how else to explain it. And then I feel like it wasn't probably even for another 6 months, maybe a year, before I came to terms with my sexuality as well. I feel like religion is such a tricky thing to touch on because I would never want to offend anyone. If you have found a religion that feels right for you and you agree with all of it, then like so good, keep doing what you're doing. But I think I was just trying to squeeze myself into something that didn't feel right for me for literally so many years. My therapist and I are actually just talking about some of this in one of our last sessions, and I feel like there's a lot of damaging things I heard as a kid that have kind of like stuck with me in ways I didn't even realize. So I feel like I have a little bit of work in therapy to do about my religious upbringing, but all in all, just didn't feel right, and that's fine. I also got a lot of questions asking about coming out to a lot of religious people in my life, and honestly it was fine. I feel like my family have never been big communicators, so we addressed it and then I've just never talked about it ever again. So who knows, maybe it becomes an issue down the track. We'll have to wait and see. But no one in my life who was religious had a bad reaction to me coming out. It was all fine, which we love to see. I cannot explain to you how hard it is for me to not be a man hater tonight. So many men in these big stupid cars driving ridiculously fast in the car park, revving their big little engines, big little, perfect, and then 20 men, boys, piling out of their car. I am a man hater, and I try not to be, but they make it too easy. It's not my fault. Okay, I need to go home and get the out of this car park. I'm slowly losing my mind. I need to calm down. I'm an adult. I need to calm down.
I'm FaceTiming Shiv while I scrapbook. You can't hear me. No. I don't know what to do. just finished up my scrapbooking of the night and it's been so nice. I've been off my phone. I was watching a YouTube video. I was listening to actually Becca Moore and Soph Mosca's podcast episode they did together for Becca's podcast. There's been so much lesbian drama on the internet recently and I just kind of hate to say I love watching it. Like Shannon and Becca's breakup. Anyway, so I was listening to that, but I wasn't on my phone and I just felt like I was in my own little world and I had so much fun. Thought I'd show you my pages I did. This is what we do now. I did this page with just no writing. It was just a bunch of photos and stickers and my plane boarding pass. I don't know if I love it or hate it, but I think it's fun. I like that I used the background paper stripy ways this way and then stripy ways this way. Yeah, I don't know if I hate it. Anyway, and then I also did this page where I stuck the leftover things I had and then wrote a little journal entry about the trip. This is me being sad, so booking a flight, and then being happy because I had a pub feed. Yeah, so that's my scrapbook done. I feel like I am making progress. That looks so fun. I love it. I love it. But I'm gonna make a moon milk and then put on my pajamas and then we're gonna answer the last few questions and then we're going to bed. Obviously. Cold. I might put a jumper on. I do have my aircon on. So it's not actually cold. We're back in my favorite spot apparently. I love sitting on my bedroom floor and yapping. I can't remember where I got this from. Who sells Morgan and Finch? It's either Pillow Talk, Adair's, or Bed Bath and Table. Not sure. I don't think you can tell it has bunnies on it. Little Easter bunnies. This is too hot to drink right now. There were quite a few questions about one topic in particular that I thought I would save to the end of the video so that only the real ones stick through it and hear me out. I feel nervous. I feel like I've been really open throughout my years on YouTube. I feel like I've talked about not having my first kiss until kind of late in life, and then I got a partner and that kind of like answers all the questions on that. But I got a few questions, like someone said, new lesbian here, anything intimately you encountered that was challenging, advice on sleeping with a girl for the first time, did you have any bad anxiety around it, feelings you had going into intimacy as a baby gay, how was intimacy with women, just so many like intimacy questions. And I feel like all I want to be is the queer big sister that I never got, and I was searching for topics like this on YouTube way back in the the day, and I now have the opportunity to be on the other end of that. So I do want to talk about it. I know it's weird and I know it's probably oversharing, but when has that ever stopped me? When have I ever not overshared? Oh, now I'm having second thoughts. If you're my family or you know me in person and I haven't already talked to you about this privately, skedaddle. Thank you so much. The thing is, if we're sitting down at brunch and you ask me, I'm telling you. So it's not that crazy to share, but I'm nervous. As I feel like I've harped on about before, I never was interested in boys in high school, in my early 20s. All of my friends had all these crushes on these boys and I was like, that's so interesting. Can't relate. Never had like a teenage love. I never got to kiss a boy at a party. I obviously never had a boyfriend. And because I was around a lot of religious people for a lot of that time, I wasn't kissing girls either. Looking back, definitely had a lot of crushes on a lot of girls. Had no idea at the time. So you live and you learn. Are my eyes just like green? So then when I finally started dating, I think I was 24 maybe. I was petrified. Like I was genuinely terrified about anything intimate. I'd never held hands with anyone. I'd never kissed anyone and therefore hadn't gone further than kissing either. So just talking to a woman, trying to flirt with a woman was so incredibly intimidating. So in that whole 12 months of dating that I included in my dating wrapped, I had a few kisses here and there. They were low-key awful. I won't lie. Not awful, but not good. But I think, and I don't think there needs to be a label with it, but I think maybe can I form any thoughts? But I think that's just because I wasn't interested in the people that were kissing me and I didn't really want to be kissed by them, but it just kind of happened. But like, does that mean I just wouldn't enjoy like a makeout session with someone random? Like, I don't know. Time will tell, maybe. I would never make the first move because everyone had more experience than me. So I was petrified to be intimate, kind of purely just because I hadn't done it before. I knew I was going to be less experienced and I didn't want to be like a disappointment and I didn't want to be bad at it, really. It felt just kind of embarrassing that I didn't know what I was doing at such an old age where most other people did know what they were doing. I will say I'm really glad that I waited. I obviously hadn't found someone yet that I had wanted to be that intimate with, and I'm glad that I waited until I found someone that I did. I felt ready, I felt comfortable. I feel like I used to be like, oh, I wish I did it younger and I wish I knew what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm actually really glad that I waited because I don't know, I almost feel like I got to enjoy it so much more because I'm an adult with like an almost fully formed frontal lobe. It felt really, I guess intimate is the right word to use. It felt very safe, very comfortable. I think that does come down a lot to the person you are sleeping with, but also kind of just how you feel in yourself. My battery is flashing dead. I wish I could go back and tell myself to stop stressing about it and stop worrying so much. I was so stressed being like, oh, I'm not gonna know what the right thing to do is, and you kind of just go with the flow and figure it out as you go. I will say my one tip. Am I giving sex advice right now? I'm so confused. I think something that I have found really beneficial and really important for me is communicating. Like I was so worried that I wasn't going to know what I was doing, but you just talk about it. You literally say, I am nervous that I'm not going to be good. I am nervous that I don't know what I'm doing. I am so nervous right now. Like I remember the first time this girl held my hand and I was talking, she was like, sorry, can you start your story again? I just got nervous. I was holding your hand. Like that was so cute to me. I still think that's so cute. Communicating, it probably might sound or feel awkward to do it, but being on the receiving end of that communication is not awkward. If anything, it's good. Like you're worried because you want it to be good. Like you want us both to have a good time. Like that's not a bad thing to be worried about. And not just communicating at the start, like communicating the whole time as much as you can. So important. And I also feel like I thought it was going to be this big, hectic, quick, fast paced situation when I feel like if you both know that it's someone's first time or it's both of your first times, probably going very slowly with a lot of communicating, a lot of like checking in consent wise, very important. Open for not criticism, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word? Adjustments. Like if you don't like something, speak up. I always think if I was receiving the criticism, I would rather know than be doing something that's not working. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I was constantly having to like get out of my own head and put myself in the other person's shoes, and that helped me like be brave to communicate and say what I need, say what I like, because I would want that for the other person. I would expect that from them almost. So if I expect it from them, why do I not expect it from myself? I feel like it's kind of annoying advice to hear because you might not believe it. I feel like I wouldn't have believed it a few years ago, but it just comes to you. Like it's kind of like in your nature. Obviously everyone is going to have a different experience, and I think that's what makes sex so fun, is that every single person is going to like different things and you just get to experiment with that and figure out what you do and don't like. I'm really glad that I got to know my body very well before I was intimate with someone, but in saying that I also learnt so much about my body from being with someone as well. I'm not gonna lie, one of the things I miss the most. But I'm in my healing era at the moment, unfortunately, so it's just me, my
myself and I also just think being a physical touch girly, oh, obsessed. Love it. Love it. Sad times. Was that so rogue? Will I keep any of that in? I don't know. I feel like I didn't explain myself very well at all, but if I were to go back and talk to myself 12 months ago, my advice would be, I know it's all very nerve-wracking, but you will actually be so fine. It's all human nature. I promise you'll know what to do, but just make sure that you feel very comfortable and safe. You get to go at whatever pace feels comfortable to you, but please, please, please communicate the whole time about everything. Remember that you can say no or leave at absolutely any time, and you're hot and sexy and cool, so you'll be literally so fun. Okay, my big sister advice is over now. Okay, last question. Someone asked, are you somewhat excited to be single again? And honestly, yeah. If you asked me that 6 weeks ago, I'd have been like, you're hitting me. But I actually am. I feel like, as I mentioned in one of the first questions today, I wasted so many years of my single life sitting around waiting for someone that I kind of got into a relationship and I was like, oh, there are aspects of single life that I miss. Which felt crazy. Like, that feels crazy for me to admit. There is a part of me that feels content and happy and excited to be single again. Also partly because before I got into a relationship, I almost couldn't see myself in a relationship because I'd never been in one before. I couldn't imagine it. Whereas now, like, I know what it feels like, and if it felt pretty good with the wrong person, imagine how good that's gonna feel with the person who is right for me. So I feel like I have a little bit more hope than I did when I was previously single, and that is helping me enjoy single life more. And I do really enjoy being selfish and not having to consider anyone else. Like, my decisions don't affect anyone besides Winston, and that's crazy. I mean, not that I'm making any crazy life decisions anyway, but you know what I mean. Like, just day to day, I get to wake up and do whatever I want whenever I want, which is sometimes so overwhelming it's awful, but most of the time I love it. Like, I'm never gonna be able to experience this again, and I need to soak it up while I have it. That's my mentality. I think previously I was like, I literally might die alone. I could die alone. Whereas now I like know I'm capable of love, which I don't think I believed I was before. I really was just like telling myself anything to get by. I was like, it is okay if I never find anyone. It's okay if I'm single forever. Whereas now I feel like a little bit more hopeful, open to things coming my way. So I'm just enjoying single life while I have it. I can't tell if I'm being delusional or not. There are obviously so many things I miss about being in a relationship. What we were just talking about definitely being one of them. There are so many pros, obviously, but there are also so many pros of single life that I just chose to ignore for many, many years. So I'm in the process of enjoying them while I have them right now. And I don't know if I'm just in a high of thinking of that right now, or if in a week's time I'm gonna come crashing down and be devastated that I'm single. Time will tell. Healing's fucking crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna finish off my moo milk, have a shower, brush my teeth, do my skincare, read my book, the usual shenanigans, and get to bed. But I love you so much. Thank you for joining me on our little day today. I yapped so hard all day. So if you are watching right now, I'm gobsmacked and I love you with my entire heart. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving me a really safe corner of the internet for me to just yap about my innermost thoughts and just be rogue and truthful and honest and vulnerable in a very safe environment. Thanks for being my online besties, but I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon.